The topic of the Third Reich is surrounded by numerous mysteries and legends. Researchers claim that the Nazis allegedly worshipped Satan, conducted terrifying rituals, and created sinister cults. By special order of Hitler, they organized secret expeditions around the world in search of magical artifacts that could help win the war and achieve global domination. But what of this is true, and what is fiction? Did the Führer really make a pact with the devil, and what occult secrets did the Nazis uncover? Subscribe and hit the bell. It's going to be interesting.
UniTheory.
As a poor Austrian artist without proper education, who had also served time in prison, he became the sole ruler of Germany and the most feared dictator in Europe within a few years. Mystery enthusiasts are convinced that dark forces were involved. According to one theory, Hitler was possessed by demons. Witnesses of his speeches noted that on the podium he seemed to enter a trance and even began speaking in someone else's voice.
Und muss sagen, den Frieden wollen wir, aber diese ununterbrochene Entrückung lehnen wir ab.
In 2006, Gabriel Amorth, the chief exorcist of the Holy See, stated that the presence of the devil had been detected in Hitler. Later, secret documents from the Vatican archives surfaced. They claimed that during World War II, Pope Pius XII remotely conducted a ritual to exorcise demons from Hitler. However, the exorcism was unsuccessful, possibly due to the distance. According to another theory, Hitler supposedly made a pact with the devil himself. Thanks to it, his political career allegedly skyrocketed. In 2009, the deal with Satan was supposedly found burned in a house on the outskirts of Berlin. The document indicated that as early as 1932, Lucifer promised to make Adolf a superhuman, to assist him and to protect him on his path to power, while Hitler was to give his soul to the devil 13 years after signing. Despite skeptics' doubts, occult researcher and doctor of philosophy Greta Lieber declared the document authentic. Until 1932, Hitler had been a failure, considered incapable by all who knew him. But from 1932, his fate changed dramatically. He literally catapulted to the seat of power, and by January 1933, he already ruled Germany. According to Lieber, this could only be explained by an alliance with Satan. On April 30th, 1945, exactly 13 years later, Adolf Hitler committed suicide. The authenticity of the pact was supposedly confirmed by an independent examination. 4 handwriting experts studied the document and concluded that the signature matched Hitler's known signatures from the 1930s and 1940s. Researchers also argue that Hitler's connection with the devil is supported by his extraordinary resilience and luck. He survived at least 40 assassination attempts, none of which succeeded. However, most historians consider these arguments dubious. It is likely just a sensational fabrication for the media and the internet. Stories about a possessed Hitler mostly appeared in tabloid press. Furthermore, there is no official verification or handwriting analysis in public sources, and the choice of April 30th, 1945 as the pact's expiration date was deliberate, as the real date of Hitler's death was well known. As for Hitler's public speeches, the secret lay in his polished gestures and carefully staged performance. Fiery speeches, swastikas, marches, and demonstrations. All of this energized the crowd and presented Hitler as a superhuman.
Theodor von der Pforten!
Each speech was like a theatrical production, a parade of stormtroopers in uniforms adorned with SS symbols and skulls on their caps. The presentation of flags, military music, everything heated the audience. Hitler appeared at precisely the right moment, when the crowd was already impatient. His opening words were calm and quiet, sometimes pausing to gauge the reaction of the hall.
Eine solche Bewegung, aus nichts geschaffen worden.
During his early speeches in Munich beer halls, Hitler had no microphone and had to shout, yet he maintained this style even in large stadiums.
Wir werden weiter angreifen und nicht rasten, bis wir das Ziel erreicht haben.
He sensed the mood of the people, embodied their dreams and hopes, and spoke what the public wanted to hear, a topic historians discussed since the 1940s. Scholars could not understand how one man hypnotized an entire nation and waged such a brutal war. Frankfurt School sociologists Siegfried Kracauer and Theodor Adorno considered Hitler a mystic who advanced through dark magic and membership in secret societies. After coming to power, the Nazis took control of most prophets, clairvoyants, and fortune-tellers. The authorities feared that psychics, mostly charlatans, would spread predictions contrary to party policy. Yet, some occult sciences such as astrology and pendulum divination were respected even by Hitler and Himmler. Allegedly, through these practices, the Nazis obtained answers to questions inaccessible by ordinary methods. Skilled astrologers received substantial state payments. The ideology of the Third Reich was full of allusions to dubious occult teachings, including Armanism. In the second half of the 19th century, Austrian thinker Guido von List proposed the hypothesis of a pre-Christian Europe ruled by a pure-blooded German state, governed by wise king-priests called Armanen. List considered himself an Arman and advocated preserving racial purity. He believed that the knowledge of his ancestors was passed down within secret societies like the Templars. List's ideas were adopted by Austrian publicist Adolf Hitler. His teaching, theozoology, claimed that Aryans were superhumans who ruled Europe during the Middle Ages and fought other races. Blonde, blue-eyed knights embodied good and fought evil, represented by darker-skinned Mediterraneans and Mongoloids. According to Lanz, other races arose from mixing Aryans with animals. The divine power of the Aryans had vanished, but it could be restored by destroying other races and ending blood mixing. Young Hitler absorbed these ideas like a sponge. They explained all his failures and showed the path to power. Germans humiliated by defeat in World War I also found solace in these ideas. Communities formed around them, one of which was Thule, founded in 1916. The society engaged in esoteric activities to save Germany from Jews. Thule quickly became influential. Some sources say Hitler was a member. It preceded the NSDAP and participated in the fight against communists. The Nationalist Party borrowed from Thule the swastika, racial theories, fascination with Nordic mythology, and runes. The society's founder claimed that Thule played a key role in establishing National Socialism in Germany, and its newspapers became a mouthpiece for the ideas of the future Führer. The main occult organization of the Nazis was the Ahnenerbe, headed by SS Reichsführer Heinrich Himmler. The creation of Ahnenerbe was inspired by the renowned seer and occultist Karl Maria Willigut. He claimed to possess the memory of his ancient Germanic lineage, allowing him to see the events of his ancestors' lives. Willigut developed ceremonies for the SS, including the famous rings with skulls, gave mystical lectures on the greatness of the Aryan race, and directed scientific expeditions worldwide. Willigut searched for traces of the ancient pagan prophet Christ, an Aryan analog of Jesus Christ. He believed the Bible was written by Aryans, their country existed for 200,000 years, and Germans were great Atlanteans. Willigut despised Catholics and Jews, considering them enemies of the Aryan people. In 1933, Himmler, together with Willigut, visited Wewelsburg Castle. Himmler's mentor claimed that the castle was destined to become a magical center in Europe's and Asia's future struggles. Ceremonies for SS officers were held there. Today, one can still see a room with 12 columns, a mosaic with a large swastika, the Black Sun, and a hall for ritual burnings with esoteric symbols. The castle was intended as an alternative to the Vatican, but due to defeats on the front, the plan was never realized. At Ahnenerbe, parapsychology was studied, and they attempted to create a superhuman. Experiments were conducted in concentration camps, though there is no evidence of cruelty within the organization itself. The main goal was to develop an ideological framework for the regime. In 1942, after setbacks at the front, Ahnenerbe was reorganized into a military organization, ending its pseudo-scientific activities. Willigut showed signs of mental instability and was dismissed by Himmler. The Nazis conducted dozens of expeditions worldwide, hoping to find the mythical homeland of the Aryans and secret knowledge to conquer the world. Ahnenerbe specialists explored the USSR, Crimea, the Caucasus, Karelia, and the Kola Peninsula. The expeditions posed as linguistic research, visiting villages, libraries, and museums. In Crimea, they searched for artifacts of Gutium, the Germanic state. They were interested in Gothic royal relics and discovered a Germanic burial near the village of Marfovka, the remains of Queen warrior Fedea, her diadem, crown, and gold coins. After the war began, the treasures allegedly disappeared. It is possible the German expedition took them, as they had previously engaged in similar operations, such as at the Armaveer Museum. After the Allies' victory, part of the collection was found in the basements of Hochstadt in Bavaria. During an expedition to the Caucasus, the Germans searched for traces of the Philistines but found no artifacts. However, they were interested in Lake Ritsa in Abkhazia, whose water was considered unique for creating blood plasma for soldiers. The research was unsuccessful. The Nazis sought Hyperborea in northern USSR and visited Tibet in search of Shambhala, a mythical land of great fair-skinned warriors. Many historians consider the trip ethnographic, without mystical context. The Germans also visited Antarctica several times, allegedly to establish a secret military base and hide relics, but historians are convinced their interest was political and economic. Whale oil and potential territory, New Swabia. No secret bases were found. Hitler believed in his chosen status and dreamed of collecting sacred artifacts for magical power, notably the Spear of Destiny and the Holy Grail. By the Führer's order, the SS sought them. The Spear of Longinus was kept in a Vienna museum, and acquiring it required capturing Austria, which Hitler did. The legend of the spear's magical power was fabricated by the English pseudo-historian Trevor Ravenscroft in 1972. There is no real evidence of Hitler's particular interest. The Nazi leadership was fascinated by magic but did not rely solely on supernatural forces. In fighting enemies, they used conventional weapons. Many myths about Hitler come from Hermann Rauschning's books, which were based on fabricated interviews. Perhaps the truth about Hitler will never be fully revealed. The secrets of the Third Reich, his connection to dark forces and demonic practices remain shrouded in the shadows of history. We can only speculate how far these dark experiments went and what truly controlled his actions. History warns us, evil can take the most unexpected forms, and the demons of the past always leave their mark on the present. This was UniTheory. Stay tuned for our new episodes and see you in the next video.